Hi, I'm looking for Godfather TV. Can you show me where I can see Godfather TV? Hello? Hello? Godfather TV?
Brian White from Kill 'Em All, and you're watching Godfather TV.
I'm Dan Castiel from Rock and Roll Over. Jeff Dennis from Godfather TV. It's on YouTube. Check it out.
Jeff Dennis is called the Godfather of Dallas-Fort Worth metal for many reasons. One is because he's met more rock stars than Tommy Lee can shake his dick at. So, do you think this will get us on the show?
Nah.
Welcome to Godfather TV with your host, Jeff Dennis, Charles Encinius, and Al Mead. Tonight's guest, Wayne Stoekly.
What's up, DFW? Welcome back to Godfather TV, episode number 2. I am your co-host, Chuck Encinius, and we have Mr. Al Mead back there on the production duties. Production God, thank you, Al. And once again, I want to introduce the Godfather himself, Jeff Dennis. What's up, brother?
Hello there, boys and girls. We have a special show for you tonight. Unbelievably, we have the soft-spoken, uncontroversial Wayne Stoekly in the house. What the hell, Wayne? You fucking blinders? You fucking blinders? Turn around, dude.
Yeah. Turn the fuck around. Jesus,
Oh, my
dude,
bad.
Turn around.
Damn.
We're over here, Wayne.
damn.
Over here.
Damn. Where?
There you go. Over here. Look
Right
for
here?
it. No. Over here. Over here.
Oh,
Right there.
what's going on?
Anyway, folks, in case you don't know, Wayne Stoekly's been around 25 years in the scene, give or take.
Yeah,
More like 22, but 25.
probably 25.
Several pretty big name bands around town, and right now the current drummer of international recording stars Lillian.
Hell yeah.
And probably one of the only legally blind drummers playing in a professional band. I'm not sure about that,
We'll have to
but
fact check that.
we'll have to fact
we'll
check
fact
that. But
check
we're going to say it just for our show that he is the only professional blind drummer right now touring. So
We have to
there we
ask
go.
Jeeves. Ramey, can you ask Jeeves? Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Jeeves.
All right, Wayne, let's get started.
All right.
Before we dive into what's going on now, let's go back to your beginnings. I know the first time I saw you was a band called Tear. Was that your first big band in Dallas, or did you have another one before that?
That was the first notable one, as far as breaking into the quote-unquote deep Ellum scene at
Right.
the time, like The Rock and all those, Trees, Canyon Club, all those places. So, yeah, first notable one. I got that gig when I was still in high school, so yeah, technically.
Nice. And you had a really good CD come out called Illusion, and then recently a German company picked up
Grease.
Grease picked up the
Reissued
CD
it.
and reissued it with all the bonus tracks and everything.
Everything the band's ever recorded.
Yeah, and they have a show coming up.
October 1st at Six Springs is the official 20-year reunion with all the original members plus me.
Yep, that's
They
gonna-
had to include me because I set it up, so.
exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
he
that
booked it. Wayne booked it.
yeah, that's going
Yeah,
to be
according
that's
to-
going to be an on the rocks reunion show for
Russell,
everybody.
you lied.
Yeah. Russell's trying to throw me under the bus, what's new?
Yeah, look at the tire marks. Look, Russ,
I know.
look, tire
I
marks.
know, lad. There's
Now, is it true?
20-year-old tire marks from
Right.
him on my
Is
back.
it true that Chuck replaced you in Tear for a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, they played
True
in Tear
story.
for about 2.5 years.
Everybody
3 years.
played in Tear.
That's right. They all followed in your footsteps.
Yeah.
Tear, to
Because
me,
you had
is-
moved on to being the Valentine Failures.
Tear is like the London
Oh,
of Dallas.
the London of
bands.
Dallas.
Yeah.
There we go.
Spinal Tap of Dallas.
Yeah, true. True
So
story.
the Valentine Failures were next on your agenda. Fame 15 to start, and then changed into.
Right. Same band, different name.
Yeah, they were the local sleaze band, I guess you want to call it, party band, debauchery kind of thing. And y'all had how many CDs and stuff out?
2 EPs and 1 full-length record.
Yeah, and they'd play every year, fuck Valentine's Day, and they'd play every Valentine's Day, and it was always a big show.
We definitely took that whole image and
Yeah.
debaucherous thing as far as it could go, with no one getting hurt. At least,
Or at least that
least
you
that
know.
you
we
remember.
know of, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At least that you remember.
We can get into that crazy stuff if you really want to.
No, I think we'll be okay with skipping some of those stories.
We'll save that for the book, right?
Yeah, save it for the book.
Or the documentary.
Some skeletons in this closet.
Not mine.
Yeah.
But there is a future book coming out with all these stories called The Mud.
Right.
It makes The Dirt by Motley Crue look
Tame.
amateur
Yeah.
compared to some of the stuff that,
Makes the dirt look like the Bible.
Right.
Yeah, with the mud, be looking for it, the mud. And Netflix probably won't be able to make that movie, so.
No, they wouldn't be able to make
Yeah.
that movie. There's
So,
a couple scenes in particular. That,
Yeah, so after, after Valentine failures, Suicide Angels?
Suicide Angels.
The
That was
only
a-
band that never practiced, 7 years, never practiced one
and
time.
And it showed.
Yeah, but it was a badass show because you played all kinds of cool shit that nobody else played. It was
Yeah.
Wayne and Taylor and Harm and two different singers, Harry from
Harry and
Livewire
Stan.
and Stan, which is in Flash Mob now. And they always showed up, just played whatever, and it was always a kick-ass show. And they had some T-shirts, and what was the motto to get a T-shirt back in those days?
The night we got the shirts, it was you have to prove
Prove.
to you or anyone in the band that you don't have panties on to
Exactly.
get the shirt.
And if you
And we
proved
gave
it,
all of them away.
we gave all of them away, a lot of them on the first night.
There was one girl that kept proving it throughout the whole set.
Yeah, that's true. We all wanted Arby's after that dinner was over, after that concert. But anyway,
Didn't you give that one guy 2 shirts? I think I remember
Yeah, he
Wayne
proved-
giving that
he
one
proved
guy.
it.
Harm was in the band.
Yeah, there you go.
he proved it.
He proved it many times over, trust me.
So also in between the Suicide Angel days, since the gigs were so spread out, you did some Pretty Boy Floyd's action. Once for a weekend with you and Taylor filling in.
You know how that came about?
No, tell me a story.
Okay, Stephen Piercy, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bang Tango were playing at, it was an old Galaxy Club, but it was called the Tack Room, if you remember that. And Steve from Pretty Boy Floyd was using Bang Tango as his backing band. And they were fucking terrible, just terrible. And I was a fan of that record, and I walked up to Steve at the merch booth afterward. I'd had a couple drinks, and I said, hey, who do you usually use for your backing band? And he's like, well, you know, Steve, well, whoever's around, blah. And I go, well, the last 3 times I've seen you, you've sucked. So if you ever want a real drummer, here's my number, call me. Just for the hell of it. And 3 months later, I got a call, like, hey, you really want to do this? Can you put some shows together in Texas? So I rounded up my guitar player, Dylan, from the Failures, Taylor.
He was 17,
Yeah.
just turned 17, and they kicked some ass.
Did a show at Reno's here, went down and played Austin.
Headhunters.
Yeah.
You just gave me an idea. I'm gonna try that with Dream Theater next time they're in town.
Hey,
I'm gonna say,
man,
your drummer sucks, dude. Here's my card if you want a real drummer.
There you go. Hey, it might work. You never know.
If you want to have
Work
to
3
learn
out of
that
10
set,
times.
you have at it.
Dude, no way.
Hey, speaking of that Pretty Boy Floyd Austin show, is it true or false? Did we see a girl smoke a cigarette with her camel toe?
Yes.
I
You
thought-
have that
I
on
thought
tape.
I thought we did. I got that on tape somewhere. I need to find
The
that.
ghost toe.
The ghost toe, smoke
Yeah,
toe. We called her smoke toe.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you had to be there to believe it, man.
Oh,
It
my
was,
gosh.
anyway,
Remember we crashed at,
Dirty Looks house.
no.
The guitar player from Dirty Looks.
Paul Liddell from,
Dirty Looks.
this is going to sound so bad. Dirty Looks, he was out of town, and his girlfriend let us come crash on the floor, and we were talking about how records must not be selling anymore, because you could see the spot where the TV used to be. You could tell where it used to be, and there's just a Dangerous Toys reunion DVD sitting there, like in its place. We were making fun of that all night. It sounds so bad, but yeah.
But we're looking forward to seeing Paul and the Dirty Looks on the Monsters of Rock cruise next year. So I'm
Right.
glad things bounced back for you.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that that's the case.
That's true. That's true.
Thanks for the place to stay.
Yeah. And then, but you did a whole bus tour with them too in 2012?
Right.
And that's funny because Lillian was on that same
They were the
tour.
opening band on
Little
that
did you
tour.
know,
They were the only other normal people on that tour, so we hung out a lot.
was it Faster
you know.
Pussycat, Bullet Boys,
Jack Russell's Great White.
Jack Russell's Great White,
Us,
Lillian
Lillian
Axe,
Axe.
and
all
yeah.
kinds of shit can go wrong when you throw a bunch of hair metal bands on a bus and send them across America.
no.
Our bus got hijacked
Seriously?
by the driver once.
Weird shit happens on something like that?
No,
was-
dude. Really?
We're driving
Come
into
on.
New Jersey, and the air conditioner unit is sitting up in the front cab with shit hooked up to it. And it was
Jumper cables.
Yes, for real. Then a couple of nights later, the bus driver got mad and took off with the bus, and we had to call authorities to get the gear back and get another bus in Nashville to keep. It was a whole thing.
And then Dallas show, Christy Crass Majors gets pissed off and quits the band at the merch booth.
Well, he doesn't get. It's what you wanted.
Yes, Wayne. That's why you're here, Wayne.
He didn't get pissed off and quit the band. He had been riding. Okay, I'm not just sitting a news flash. Steve and Christy can't stand each other, no matter what bullshit they feed you. And Christy had been riding Steve the whole tour about, you got to keep checking in with your wife and blah, 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 blah. And Steve just had enough and beat the hell out of him. And Christy got mad and took all of our money, took all the merch money, took all the merch, and found a chick that he knew in Dallas and walked out of trees and flew
I remember
home.
that because he just signed my shit and he was gone. I was like, damn, what happened? And that's when y'all told me.
Yeah, and then he's calling me, we're still going to be in the band. London LeGrand's going to sing, and I messaged London LeGrand. He doesn't know anything about it. Christy's telling me he sent me the rest of my money, and then I'm calling back a week later, and he's telling me his lawyer said not to send it because of litigation with Steve, and blah, 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 blah. Then tried to claim I stole an iPod from him, and that's why he did, like, I need his fucking $40 iPod.
Band drama.
They never worked half the time when we're trying to run our fake backing vocal tracks, which they still use. Newsflash.
Damn.
Word to the wise, anytime backing vocals come out 100 times louder than anything else to the PA, it's probably fake.
No.
So did you see that clip of Tommy Lee?
Oh, and his
with the-
cymbals
with the
on.
tracking? Do you think that was, did you hear about that?
Well, Motley Crue's whole show's on tracks.
Is
The
it?
only thing that's live is Tommy and Mick.
No, well,
Nicky's not even
they-
playing
Tommy's
bass.
cymbals
They-
were tucked
Tommy's
in.
cymbals.
He didn't
really?
even, he didn't even hit it and you could hear it.
Yeah, and then he
When they
came in.
played Gas Monkey, when it first opened up, they did that Dodge promotion
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
I was
that
there
live.
with Laura, and we were backstage, and there's like 8 laptops run up, and it's like Nicky's bass, backing vocals. The only thing that's not on a track is what should be, and that's Vince. Everything else on the show's fake.
You heard it here first.
And that's not, everybody knows that.
No, but you heard it here first.
Right. Right. you
Somebody
heard it
finally
here
honest enough to say it.
first. I mean, come on, man.
Come on, come on.
If you're faking anything other than a keyboard, get lost.
Here we go.
See why we love Wayne?
I mean, hey, you
love-
pay for
Like
a
I
lot,
said,
but the thing is,
unspoken.
people don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. They go see Shinedown. He's not singing live. He's not singing live at all.
Wow.
Damn, and
Yeah.
I thought every singer was live.
I know, right?
All this time.
Right.
And all backups were exactly like the Queensryche or the Jeff Tate show we saw on the boat. Sounded like 19 people singing backups for the Queensryche
It
songs.
was hard to make out anything over those.
We're like, there's one guy, there was one guy on the mic, and it sounded like 19 people. We're like,
Did that guy have his?
man, that
Tommy
dude
kid
can
up there?
sing.
What do you think of that, Wayne?
I thought it was the worst sounding
Right?
drum thing I've ever heard in my
Exactly,
life.
and I agree with you. It's horrible.
Jeff Tate said in an interview that acoustic drums are archaic. So, you know,
So is his career. Oh,
Oh,
so is his best.
his best, yeah.
dang. Tough crowd here
Y'all are gonna
tonight.
get me in trouble.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
So, Pretty Boy Floyd, all that kind of weasels out. Which came first, Infidel Rising or Millennial Reign, or both at the same time?
Infidel, right after.
Infidel Rising, which is prog power metal, I guess you want to call it.
Sure.
2015 album came out.
Album came out in 2015, started in 2012, me and
Yeah.
Travis, and we had a different lineup, and took forever to find people that could play the stuff, knew what the stuff was, you know, that kind of thing, and finally solidified that lineup and did that record in 2015. It came out. Well, it actually came out 2 weeks before the Millennial record, so it was kind of parallel, but that started first.
Yeah, I was at the CD release party for that. That was a good album, and now you have another album finally coming out. We'll get to that in a little bit.
7 years later.
7 years later, what is this, Def Leppard?
Had about 4 albums written, but, you know.
And Millennial Reign, another local band, also had Wayne on their first album, which they were signed to what label was that? They were on?
Alterium Records.
Alterium
In
Records.
Sweden.
So, anyway, he was doing pretty good. He was also in Rivethead, which is a
Yeah.
pretty successful local band for years, several
Did a record
CDs.
with Rivethead.
Yeah, did a record with Rivethead, Infidel Rising, Millennial Reign, everything going good, and then all of a sudden, you started feeling like shit. Oh, you were also doing the Leslie Sanders and the
Oh,
Prophets.
yeah, Prophets of Addiction.
You were just fixing to go on tour with them, weren't you?
Yeah, and we're about to do a whole record. The single just came out of that. I mean,
Yeah.
it came out. a few
And
years
you
ago.
went to play a show with Lillian Axe when Ken couldn't make
Yeah,
it.
2016.
And that was just starting the talks of you being their drummer.
And at the same time, just starting Planet Size Ego, which never got off the ground with Davies and Dave Crow and, you know,
Yep.
So-
So everything was starting to go, and then what happened?
that's like for, God, you know, it's weird 'cause some of that's hard to remember, but just feeling bad for, God, what seemed like a year, constant headaches. Then got the flu real bad, got pneumonia, and just one thing, everything kept spiraling to the point where it was getting to like, I woke up one day and couldn't move my whole left side, then worked through that. Matter of fact, a video just popped up in my Facebook memories a couple weeks ago of the last Blaze of Glory show I did with full sight, and it's at the Brixton, and I'm literally laying against the back wall playing like that. And that was only the first time I thought maybe something's wrong. So, go to the doctor, multiple doctor visits, and can't figure out what was wrong until I lost my sight, and then they diagnosed MS, which they can't diagnose that until they've ruled out absolutely everything else. So, and then that resulted in a week and a half hospital stay, almost dying, told that I'm a couple hours away from dying when I get in there. And the funny thing, if you want to call it funny, is the whole time in my head, I'm going, okay, do whatever you have to do, get me out of here, fix my eyesight, I have a gig in a month. I can't even walk at this point, but that's what I'm thinking to myself.
I think the fact that you were thinking all that might be what kept you
It
going.
could be.
You might have, if you didn't have that to look forward to, you might have just gave up.
Well, I remember getting out of the hospital. I couldn't even get out of a chair by myself, and I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting at home, and I have these little 2-pound aerobic weights, and I'm like, okay, I can do 5. That's it. Then just practicing standing up and sitting down. I could do it 10 times and then pass out for an hour. And then yada, 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 7 months later, back on stage.
Wow. So, I remember when I knew something was wrong was the night you did the double duty. You played Rivet Head at Trees.
Oh, that was bad.
And then about an hour later, you had a show at
I had a 104-degree temperature when I got home.
Wits End was Infidel Rising, and he basically finished his set, walked across the street, and got on the drums with Infidel Rising, and he fell out of his chair onto the ground when it was over and hit the ground, and that's when we all went, oh, okay, something's not right.
I had a 104-degree temperature when I went home.
Yeah, that was a scary
And of course,
night.
I'm like, I'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah,
Don't ever do that, by the way.
Rub some dirt on it. Okay, so since then, have your eyes got worse, better, same?
It improved some.
You got a couple
How many
of-
surgeries have I had now? 5, 6? Both retinas were detached, had to reattach those. Then some cataracts developed. There's still one in the right eye. I don't see anything out of it all. And it's like a lost cause, they say. The left one, each surgery has improved a little bit. And in certain lights, if things are, it's not even really necessarily bright, but just certain lights, I can see okay.
Yeah.
And then you could walk 2 feet and it'd just be pitch black, So it's really hard. It's almost harder to explain than just being flat out straight up blind, because you never know no one ever really knows what I can see and what I can't see,
They assume you can see one time, and then 5 minutes later, you might not be able to see what
Right.
you just saw 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is better than not be, it could be worse. Could just be black.
But you can't ever drive again, and you can't
Unless
really-
things improve
And you
more,
really can't
yeah.
walk unless somebody's helping you, because if little steps in the road, you might.
That's, since the last surgery in the daylight, I haven't really had to be guided too much,
Okay.
which is nice, and in certain rooms that are lit, but, it could be worse, it definitely was worse at one point, so, I'm not gonna complain.
But despite all that, Stevie Blaze gives you a call and offers you a gig.
Despite all that, I'm doing more than I ever have before.
Now he's in 2 signed bands, because Infidel Rising has a record deal with that album coming out, and then you got Lillian fixing to do the first European tour. So he's living the dream, even with all his ailments. So,
It's kind of a double-edged sword, because I guess you could look at it as, well, all this cool stuff's happening, but you can't enjoy it as much as you would. But
yeah,
what am I going to do, just sit at home and look at the wall?
You'd have gave your left nut to do this 10 years ago, and now.
Right, exactly.
But you're not going to turn it down,
all I've ever wanted to do since I was 4 years old is exactly what I'm doing right now. So, I can't really complain about it.
And luckily you have, Maria and Travis and
If I didn't have
yeah.
my mom, Maria, Travis, and the guys in the band, I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Right.
So, I tell people all the credit goes to them, because they Maria learned how to set the drum kit up.
Yeah,
Who does that?
I've seen her do that. I've seen you sit down and just kind of feel everything, and boom, you're ready to go. Boom.
Yeah, it's better now, because It's funny because after that last surgery, we did a blaze gig in the daytime, and I could see decent enough to like kind of haul some gear up onto the stage. And I told her, I'm like, man, this sucks. I don't know why you do this.
Right?
You get nothing out of this relationship.
And at the
But she's a saint.
Then I saw Lillian act on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and Maria wasn't there, so he had his other guys have to set up his shit. Probably guys that weren't used to doing it as much.
Well, actually, the production staff did that, and they were pretty on
You just
top
had to adjust it a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Well, if you need a crew member for next year, Wayne, call your buddy Chuck. I'll go with
We
you.
hopefully we can get on it next year.
I heard you guys were already on it. Didn't
no,
you?
it's these
last
Monsters
year.
of the Mountain.
Monsters of the Mountain, yeah.
Monsters
but
of the
the
Mountain's
cruise-
coming up in a couple weeks. Then
We're
you
on
get-
the event that you ripped off the logo for the Monsters of
Yeah,
Rock.
actually, just so we can get into that a little bit, Chuck didn't rip off anything, okay? That
Well,
was
Russell told me you did.
Oh, Russell?
Russell again?
Anyway, no, that was the Amplified guys. They did.
Oh, okay.
I just booked the stuff, man. I don't do the marketing stuff, all right?
There needs to be a face to throw under the bus, so.
All right.
Here we go. But yeah, they got what, Monsters on the Mountain in Tennessee, and the very next day you leave to Europe,
Yeah,
and then you play like 8 straight nights?
Seven straight
Seven straight
nights.
nights in Europe?
ending with the Hard Rock Hell Sleaze Festival.
Man.
Yeah. That's fine with
Some
me.
exciting
It's singers,
times.
it's hell on.
Oh, yeah. It's
If Brent's ready, it'll be fine,
Yeah.
Then come back, and 2 weeks later, we go to Rock Timber in Minneapolis.
in Minneapolis, that's another good show you got, and then.
And then there's talks about putting together I'm not sure when, if it'll be late this year or early next year, but there's talks about a three-band package tour going out for about 4 or 5 weeks across the U.S.
Nice.
But we'll see.
supporting the new Lillian Axe album, From Womb to Tomb,
Correct.
and which comes out on August 19th,
Yep.
and the new video comes out when, same day?
That may be out,
Before?
I don't know when this is going to air. That may be out next week. It may be out by the time you've seen this.
So he'll have a professional video out there, a major album with guys he used to look up to when he was a little kid. Now he's
crazy,
their
man.
drummer.
Had the posters on my wall.
Had the
Right.
posters on his wall, just like rock
Because
stars.
I'm much younger than they are.
Exactly.
Much younger than they are.
The first is the tier reunion, and then what's coming up with Power
That's
Fest?
October 1st.
Yeah, it's October 1st. And
You're
what's up with
you're skipping a whole month of another release.
Infidel Rising,
Infidel
September
Rising,
30th.
right.
September
September
30th.
30th.
The first video for that will be out September 1st.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it. That looks
Did
great.
you guys use Royce, right?
Yep.
1122 Studios?
Yep.
11/22, baby.
Royce, there's a plug, 1122 Studios.
That's right. For all your
That's right.
video needs.
All your video needs, Al Mead or Royce Bishop.
And that comes out September 30th on Pure Steel. Then, the Tear Reunion show is October 1st. And then Power Fest,
I know you haven't announced it yet
well,
on,
by the time this comes out, it'll be out.
that's right.
So there's going to be 2 Power Fests this year. There's going to be November 26th at the Haltom, and then December 3rd in Houston at Warehouse Live. I guess you want the lineup.
Of course.
Wait a minute, so is it the
The Warehouse Live downtown.
Warehouse Live downtown?
Yeah,
Is that where they have like the
one.
Sunday shows, like the tribute shows on Sundays, or is that?
I do not
Oh, no,
know.
I know what you're talking about, sorry.
This is
That's
the
a
big-
different, yeah.
To be honest, I'm surprised you're having it again, considering y'all took a bath last year in that.
We didn't plan on it. Matter of fact, I said no, because it was like, what more can you do?
Last year they had Cage, Ripper Owens, Bifist, and nobody
We
came.
lost our ass.
Nobody
lost
came. We're like,
Thousands
how does-
on that.
how does nobody not come to
62
that?
people through the door.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So I was like, and then the Tolkien show.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, this town just doesn't want it, so why play here? And-
exactly.
I mean, it's not like a bitch of, hey, you should come out, but if there's just not as many fans for that style here, then don't have it here,
Yeah.
But we were going to do a CD release show anyways, and I thought, when I found out the bands that wanted on it, I was thinking, okay, well, we could make this a Power Fest. When word got out that we were going to do that again, all of our Houston friends wanted on it, so we were like, well, let's just do one in Houston. So here, on November 26th, from the top down, Headbanger's going to headline
Okay.
with John Perez and Stokely and Rick Perry, the governor. And they're going to do like an all-star jam of all their classic covers.
Good.
Before them will be the first DFW appearance of the reunited Valkyrie with Scott Stein,
Nice.
the legendary San Antonio band.
Nice.
Infidel will be before that. That'll be our CD release for here, even though the record will already be out. You can get that and all the new merch. Masked from Houston is before that.
With the girl singer?
With
Yeah.
Stephanie, best
And Eric.
female singer in the country, Eric, and Shane from Z Lot Z.
Nice.
Before them will be Earls of Black.
Earls of
for
Black.
their first show since the last
Yeah.
Power Fest.
Nice.
Before them, who's before them? Oh yeah, before them is Nitrate.
Okay.
Nice,
Gotta
Jimmy.
give Jimmy a bone.
Jimmy.
Before that is Diesel Beast, a traditional metal band from Denton that's really, really good. And opening it up will be the Reunited Space Time.
No way, dude. I was just thinking about them on the way here.
Brian hit me up 2 weeks ago. And he's like, we're playing again.
Reese is on drums?
Reese, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll be there, Wayne. What's that date?
November 26th. It's weekend after Thanksgiving.
No, I won't be here.
And then in Houston,
Damn tribute bands.
Houston's gonna be more Houston type bands, or?
Houston, from the top down, will be Hellstar.
Oh, nice.
Nice, James.
Then Infidel. Then Bifist from San Antonio.
Nice.
Then Distance of Thought from Houston.
I saw
And first couple of bands are still being worked out. So
No ZLZ reunion, huh?
that's, okay, that's going to happen, but I can't say anything else
Okay.
about that. There's been talks about that. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I've been working on that for a long time.
Space Time, so are they getting together for good?
From what I mean, Reese is in Oman. So,
That's
and
right.
Reese lives in Houston, but as far as I know, it's not a one-off.
All right, they're getting
gonna
back
play.
together. Yeah, they're one of the first bands that I saw when I moved here.
And they're kind of a proggy
Yeah,
Dream
proggy
Theater.
Dream
Yeah.
Theater-ish.
They haven't played in years.
I know, right?
When he said we're going to play it, I mean, that really shocked me.
I
So,
think last time I saw them was at the old region.
And that's gonna be at Haltom, you said? Haltom
yeah,
again?
November 26th at the Halton Theater. So,
Well, cool.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The best drawing Power Fest is still the first one.
No rallies.
With just 4 local bands, Dreamkeeper, Parallel Dimension, and Soul Survivor. Still the best drawing one, 141
That's crazy.
people. But,
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to get involved with that, Wayne, at some point, on the promotion side,
yeah, we can
I'd
use all
love-
the help we can
I would
get.
love to help you guys, you know what I mean?
So
Y'all
it
heard
sounds like you
No,
have a
seriously.
busy couple months coming up.
And we're gonna get into
Yeah.
this here in a second about me getting involved, because I booked nothing but tributes right now. But I do want to start booking original acts as well, and that's what this show is all about. That's why we have Wayne here and George, and we're not just featuring tribute guys. I mean, Wayne also plays in a tribute band as well.
Yeah, let's go ahead and touch
But,
on that just
we-
for a brief second.
Yeah.
He's Blaze of Glory for how many years now? 7, 8 years?
Almost 10.
Almost 10 years. The
Next
Bon
year
the
will be
Bon
10
Jovi
years.
tribute. He's in a country tribute, crushing it.
Yep.
Brad Paisley.
tribute.
Nice.
Before
I
that,
didn't know
you
that,
had
Wayne.
Infestation, Rat. You were in several.
Let's see, Wayne, he was in Judas Rising for a little bit, tried to break my hi-hats in Austin. Didn't work, did it, Wayne? I still have them.
He
Those
was in
Dynabeats?
he
I
played
have,
in-
actually, they did finally break.
Did they really?
I broke them,
After 30 years?
after 30 years, but I still have them. But, yeah, Wayne's been in Judas Rising, Stargazer,
Yeah.
right? Did you do,
He did it in Tooth and Nail for a little bit.
Sacred Groove?
No.
No?
He did
But you
Tooth and Nail.
I was
right?
never in Tooth and Nail.
You've
but I
played some
filled
shows.
in,
Yeah, I did like 3 shows with them too. Did you, with Taylor or Phil on bass?
Taylor.
Taylor,
Because
right?
I got
Taylor.
video.
I was so drunk at those shows.
No.
Remember the night Rachel got into a fight with that blonde chick right in the middle of the set?
Who?
Rachel. Sonny. You don't even remember who she
I don't
is?
know her.
You remember Rachel? You remember Rachel?
How embarrassing.
If you saw her, you'd go, oh, yeah, okay, I remember Rachel.
Don't cut that out, 'cause
Yeah.
she's going to be livid with him. Yeah.
Well, anyway, do you
Anyway,
remember?
I do
anybody
not
getting into a
remember
fight?
the fight. No, I
No?
don't
You
know.
don't remember that?
Nope.
Okay. Travis broke it up while singing.
Huh.
It was at the old Skillman Street pub.
Oh, dude, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Wow.
He's like 65 or
I
something.
know.
Yeah, you gotta take it easy on my old brain.
Yeah. He's seen a lot of girl fights in his.
Right.
Try to avoid them.
But anyway, yeah, like what I was going back to talking about, I was telling Wayne, I was gonna get involved in trying to book some original acts as well. So I know Wayne does a lot of metal fest and power fest, local stuff for original bands. So we're gonna see what we can do, man. And
How that, like, we never wanted to be promoters, but it was just like, okay.
happens.
Nobody else is doing it, so
Well,
somebody's
my
gotta do
thought
it.
process was, let's see what happened, like the first one. We had that show booked, and I was like, me and Travis had talked about doing that for a while. I'm like, well, let's see what happens if we just put a name on this to make it seem bigger, and more people showed up. Now, anybody could do it, but,
well,
most-
actually, From Creation was supposed to be on that first Power Fest, and I don't remember what happened.
I do.
What happened?
It was you.
Did I quit?
Something happened. with
Somebody
you.
quit or somebody
You were the
changed.
excuse I was given.
I thought it was Russell.
It was Russell. Russell, it's your fault. Dude, I don't even remember, man.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyways, yeah.
That's-
So, yeah, we were supposed to be on the first one. And, yeah, we'll do one, man. We'll get together and see if we can, when you get back from your world travels.
You should start playing original stuff again.
Well, this is the deal. The thing about that is that I haven't been as fortunate as you to find players that even want to return a phone call.
Right.
All right? And like
That's
I
why
talked-
everybody here ends up playing with the same people.
Yeah,
'Cause there's like
and-
11 guys that.
And
can,
me and Travis
you know.
actually talked about this last week. He said, Chuck, you need to start writing and recording again. And I go, well, look, if I could find people, you know, and there's talks about original stuff going around, but I don't want to be the one to have to just hammer it into everybody. I want everybody to show the same interest that I'm showing.
That's the tough
And
part.
that's the tough part.
While we're on that original subject, I want to know Wayne's opinion of what's it going to take to get original music back in Dallas where, like it used to be, where it's packed every night of the week, 5 nights a week, 50, 60 bands
That's
headlining.
never going to happen. That's just cultural. When that was happening, you were young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Young kids today, what do?
Yeah. I remember.
Play video games.
They do this. That's it. They don't want to drive. They don't want to go out in public. They just want to, why drive? Because you can't be on your phone like you can if you just take an Uber somewhere. It's cultural. And until people start looking at it as that and try to,
Adapt.
you have to adapt and evolve to their ways. You can't fight it and just be old man, well, this is how it was done. You can do on certain things, but if it's not young people, old people don't go out. They have kids. They have to get a babysitter. They don't want to have 2 beers and drive 40 minutes
have
back to
grandkids.
Dallas. They have to mow the lawn.
Kids, yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's
I
just,
got you.
that's never going to happen again,
That's why I
What do you think about the talent pool, though? I mean,
I think it's awful. I think it's the worst that's ever been here. I don't care what anybody says. This is going to sound bad. There's 3 original bands in this town I'd pay to see, and I'm in one of them. So, sorry.
Wow.
Friends of mine, good friends for years, will be like, hey, here's my new band. What do you think? And it sucks.
Right. That's
But you don't say that, but it's like, okay,
Right.
where's the song?
exactly.
And I'm not saying we've got the best songs, but at least I know we have hooks. At least we try, And then the whole thing of, you got guys up there on stage, like their feet are in stone, just standing there. Like, trust me, your songs are not good enough to just stand there.
Yeah, I got to be entertained or I don't even want to go. I don't care how good the song is. If I'm not entertained, the world needs rock stars.
Right.
And that's
And
simple as that.
why did guys go to those shows in the 80s?
Because the chicks were there, because the
Exactly.
chicks were there because of the guys on stage, so the guys
Exactly.
came there to get the
I
stragglers.
preach that to everybody.
It was the perfect storm. It
Right.
was the perfect storm.
Exactly.
Now if now you're on stage and you're like, oh shit, a girl. Oh, it's my girlfriend, okay.
Right, or my mom.
Yeah, there's no chicks at shows, Just not. And if there are, no guys are coming.
Remember the first time we went to Prague Power in Atlanta, there was like a line with like 700 guys, and there was like no chicks. They had pocket protectors, and they were all in line.
Yeah.
And we're like looking around going, I guess they're not picking up any
And,
chicks
and
tonight.
if like there was a girl there, she probably felt uncomfortable because it was all guys, but she didn't realize like, oh, none of these guys have ever spoken to a girl, so,
Right.
Now at Prague Power, you wouldn't even know who's who because they're all masked with needles hanging out of their stupid virtue signaling arms and shit. So, yeah.
So does that guy Lance still run that thing?
Lance has never run that thing.
I thought that was his deal.
Lance King?
Lance King. I thought
No,
that
no,
was
he
his.
just worked there. He had a booth.
Oh, okay. I thought it was his festival.
No.
No.
Interesting.
He had Nightmare Metal Fest.
He had it
think,
up
right?
in
Like-
Minnesota. In
I
Minnesota,
thought
he had
like it was in
one.
Houston and it got so
He
big
had
that
one
he
in
had-
San Antonio. We went to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, that's cool.
Right.
So what do you think, Wayne, of the state of just metal and rock in the United States as a whole? What do you
That's
think?
tough because you can look at something like here and say, oh, well, Power Fest didn't do well. But Camelot rolls through town, there's 800 people there.
Right? I guess
You
it's
know,
just the
it just
region.
depends. But, we've done shows with, I remember when we played with Epica at Gas Monkey, sold out. We had a line the whole night. We did like $1,200 in merch that night, and every person said, we can't believe y'all are a local band. We
Right.
didn't know there were any local bands like this. Then you never see those people again at your own show.
Yeah, that's what
It's
Dreamkeeper
weird.
heard when they opened for Glory Hammer. We had no
Same
idea there
thing.
was bands like this here. Never see them again.
Play on your own,
Yep.
same 15, 20 people,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, if anybody wants to know, oh, he's shit talking the talent, okay, who's consistently drawing 50 people in an original band right now? Name one.
Blackout.
Can't. Who?
Blackout, or Flash Mob.
Aska did last time, but barely.
Again,
Ask
who's
them.
consistently
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
drawing 50 people?
Well,
You know?
kudos to those guys. At least the thing about with Flash Mob is and Blackout, they stick to their guns, man, and they just,
No, they do, and they don't give a shit.
They-
That should be
they play,
respected.
yeah,
But
exactly.
but are they drawing people?
yeah, I don't know.
Nobody's drawing
No,
anybody.
nobody's drawing anything.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not drawing people. If 30 people come to an Infidel show, it's a good night, and
Right.
that's sad. And that's not an indictment on the band.
So what do we do to?
And I'll say this, I'll talk about Flash Mob.
Yeah,
They put on a show.
they do.
They move on stage, you know?
Bobby gets that Buddy Blaze on the floor. Yeah, he
Hey,
does.
nobody else is doing it.
Right, right.
You know, everybody else is just standing there, oh, my depressing, slow, all the same mid-tempo songs are good enough. No,
So
they're not.
what do we have to do to change that? What do we have to do
I
to
don't know
change
that
that
you
culture?
can change it.
At all?
I don't know. It's societal. I don't.
It's
I don't-
all-
Come on, Wayne, that's why you're here,
all
to give us
different
all the
crowd
answers.
now.
That's why we have you,
Look,
George and
we've
Matt
all
coming
been
on.
collectively busting our heads together trying to figure this out for years now,
Right.
and we've gained no ground. You know, I'll tell you what doesn't help. What doesn't help is shitty clubs, expensive drinks, bar staff that act like it's your fucking privilege to even be in their presence.
Right.
That kind of stuff. No ladies' night, no drinks, none of that stuff happens anymore.
Shitty sound systems.
No, the club's not promoting, or, well, we made a Facebook event. Sorry,
How many people saw that? 20?
Facebook is not promoting. It's filtered out, it's bullshit.
Right.
No one wants to spend any money. The whole thing of, well, now there's a house cost. You remember when you first heard that term? Where now the sound guy, the door guy, and the security guy are now subcontracted. They're not employees of the bar, and it's the band's job to pay for them.
Right.
Okay, well, if it's the band's fucking job to pay for your staff, okay, 15% of the liquor sales. Because those people
Yeah,
aren't here without the
and-
bands, but you know what? And same thing with pre-sales. We've done them, I'm sure I'll do them again.
I'm
In
doing 'em now.
2009, I posted, do not let this shit come to Dallas, and I got roasted for it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking roasted. And you know who roasted me?
Hmm.
Dog shit bands that could never get an opening slot on their own.
Right.
That's who roasted me, because I had this talk with Rios about a particular band, and I won't say it. And the promoter was like, well, they always sell 50 tickets. And he said, yeah. How many people are in the club when they play? 9. They sold 50 tickets because they're
To the
friends
headliner.
wanted- Yeah. They didn't show, those people didn't show up early for that band and drink. So your club made no money on those people. And if you need the 4 local bands in order to cover the guarantee for the headliner, you shouldn't have booked the fucking headliner
Right.
because they can't draw.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. But everybody just, oh, well, that's the way it is, so we got to go with it. No, you don't have to go with it. Have some balls and stand up against it, but everyone has to do it.
Well, because everybody has that need to be on stage, and they'll do whatever it takes to be on stage. So even if we have to just
There's
take
also
a
the
cut.
problem of, if you're opening for a national and their music is nothing like yours, you're wasting
Oh, of
everyone's
course,
time.
of course.
You're wasting
I totally agree
because
with that.
nobody gives a shit that you open for a national. You'll see that. This such and such band, as seen opening for, it does, none of that means anything.
No, I
No
got
one
you.
cares, you know?
Exactly. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely
You
correct.
see that stuff all the time, and it's like you're just wasting time.
Well, there's a lot of bands opening bands that do play with a lot of nationals that think they're the shit, you know what I mean? And they deserve to be on a pedestal because of that. You and I have discussed this several times. So, just like getting in, I'm just going to say this and you'll know what I'm talking about, getting your name on a hotel receipt. I don't know if you remember that.
Hold on.
We used to joke about this a lot, you and I. Yeah, remember? That they made it because they have their name on a hotel receipt down.
One thing we like to do is like to check the internet and see if anybody's called in or left any messages for us, and I have one. Oh, it's Bono from U2. Let's hear what he has to say.
We hear the rain pouring through the gaping wound, pounding on the women and children who run into the arms of America. Godfather, let's hear. You're a man, you're right backstage. TV show now. It's great. Never thought you were a fool. Where the way to just stand up straight, stay to the jump stand. Of course, by carrying my way, I'm gonna take it out of the field and chase for out. How do you know now? How do you know? I've been kind. Early morning, April 4, shot rings out.
Oh, what Bono just said was he wants to know your opinion on the rumors or the facts, whatever it is, of the new Pantera reunion that's going to hit next year.
Or the hot button issue around here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what are
I
your
think it's
thoughts on it,
great.
Mr.
I think it's
Stokely?
killer. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah?
Look, I wasn't that close to Vinny or Dime. I don't have personal ties.
Welcome to Godfather TV
I think the whole
with your host,
Wayne Phil
Jeff Dennis,
death is
Charles
ridiculous.
Encinas,
Just as a
Al
fan,
Mead.
I'd like to see it. I don't think you
With
could have got
tonight's
two better
guest,
players. You got
George
one of the best
Call.
drummers in the world. You know, Zach can pull the Dime stuff. You know, it's just Phil and Rex have just as much right. Band was never successful until Rex came in. I mean, Phil came in. Say what you will. That's
That
a
is true.
Hard, cold fact. Band would have never got signed if Phil didn't come in. They've been passed over many times. I think it's great. I think they should make a record. I think it should be called Pantera. I'm going to get crucified for that, but I don't care.
I kind of agree with you, Wayne. I mean, no, I do
It
agree
would be
with you.
interesting to know what it would sound like.
I
if
do
they
agree with you, you know.
Got in a Pantera frame of mind, knowing how close those two guys were, and tried to write a Pantera record. What would that sound like?
Well, the only thing that I would not like to hear is Zach Wild just
Do
pinch
harmonic
harmonics.
all over it?
Yeah, that's the
That's
only
what
thing I
everybody
wouldn't
keeps
like to
saying,
do.
but
You know what I
I'm
mean?
pretty sure he'll tone that down. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, well,
No,
that's
it's Zach
okay.
Wild.
Well, no one gave a shit that Dime did the whammy thing every solo he played for the last 50 years.
Yeah,
of
but
his
that was
life.
like, for me, that was like Pantera though, you know, that southern,
Right,
that
but
southern metal
that's
with that
Zach,
shit. Yeah, but
you know,
Zach,
He does
I guess
go a little
but it's not,
overboard on
you know
it
what I
now.
mean? You know,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
yeah. No, I think it'd be killer. The funny thing is, all the people complaining, that's going to be the biggest tour the band has ever done in their history. Just watch.
so?
I know so.
Bigger than Vulgar?
Be 30. Vulgar wasn't in arenas. Pantera was never
Oh, till they
a
did the
straight
third one.
arena
Yeah, that's
headliner ever. You never saw it at Reunion Arena. That
Well, they did
never
headline
happened.
here at,
I saw my
Starplex,
yeah,
yeah.
but they were
once,
open for
yeah.
Black Sabbath.
Right, but they were never Metallica big like
Right.
people try to act. This
Right.
will be the biggest tour they've ever done. There's 2 generations of kids that never saw them that want to go hear those songs. It'll be huge. So all the people crying, well, it's not going to matter. They're going to do it. They're going to call it Pantera.
They're gonna make
Because
somebody.
no one, all these people are bitching about a name. Who fucking cares? It's a name. It doesn't mean, it's just music. It really doesn't mean that much at the end of the fucking day. No promoter wants Phil and Rex's tribute to Pantera on the flyer. They want the logo that people recognize. It's a business,
right?
you know? But all the, I will go if they called it a tribute. Who cares? It's just some songs.
Either go or don't go. Simple
I mean,
as that.
look,
Simple as
I know
that.
music's important to all of it, but at the end of the day, it's just some people writing some songs. That's all it is, you know?
What do you think
Some-
about Bono?
Some,
I think
yeah.
Bono's a self-righteous prick.
There you go. Hey, you heard it.
Hey, but he likes Whataburger. Every time they're here, they eat Whataburger.
I like Bono. I think Bono's a great guy, yeah?
But you know, going back to what you were saying a little bit, Wayne, the fans, they get just like overbearing for stuff. They take it personal, and that's how things happen. Like Dime getting shot. You know,
Yeah,
this guy thinks,
exactly.
hey, you
The
stole my
crazy
lyrics, so
guy.
I'm gonna freaking kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
That could have happened to anybody.
No, I got you,
You
but
know.
you know, but still, that's what you're looking at. Those diehard fans, like, oh my God, they just did it. But those are the ones that are going to be buying tickets.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly. I
mean?
mean, look, it's a tragedy.
It is a
Yeah,
tragedy. Mm-hmm.
Vince held a grudge. He didn't like, you know, would it have happened? Who can say?
So
They were
I heard
alive.
you say
Who can
just a
say?
second ago, though, that People are blaming Phil for Diamond's death. I never.
Oh, you never heard
Yeah, I
that?
heard that. He
That's
wasn't even
why
allowed- he wasn't allowed
everyone-
at the funeral.
It's because of that Metal Hammer article.
Yeah.
Well, he said he should be beaten.
Yeah, everyone's,
Dude, he was pissed off. Their brother fighting the man.
I know, that's.
I heard about that, but I thought it was something different.
Yeah, I've always thought that was a ridiculous
It is,
thing.
man.
I thought it was ridiculous he couldn't come to the funeral.
Yeah.
But
Poor
that's,
guy, man.
that's their personal thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nobody else's business, or
Right.
nobody else has the right to
It
speak
should
on
be
that.
about the music itself.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense, man.
And I understand people around here that were close to those guys, that were
Everybody's close to
involved
those
in
guys.
that,
Yeah.
but the ones that really were, not the 50 million people that saw him in a bar once and were best friends. But the people that were actually close, I understand if they want to be upset about it, have at it, that's fine. I'm not going to tell them you can't, but don't bitch at the people that do go.
I think we talked to my guitar player in Kill 'Em All, Brian White. I think he talked to Sonny Satterfield. Sonny runs lights, the production over at Amplified, and he said he's looking forward to Phil and Rex getting back together and playing those songs.
Yeah. That's what it should be about at the end of the
Yeah,
day, it's
so-
keeping the songs alive.
Anyways,
Well, you got anything else, Chuck?
When are the
no,
tough
I just want to
questions
say
coming?
something. I just want to say something on a personal level, drummer to drummer, And I've told Wayne this personally, but I want to say it publicly. Like, that Illusion CD, I had to learn that stuff after Wayne left the band. And to me, and I've told Wayne this, I think that's some of the most creative and kick-ass drumming that I've ever had the privilege of not just hearing, but having to learn.
No, I appreciate that.
And I
Especially
always,
because I was 21 when I
well,
recorded
dude,
that.
and
I've gotten worse since.
and I always say this, I always try to learn everybody's music lick for lick, and Wayne was no exception. I tried to learn those songs lick for lick and to try and get them to the way Wayne would play them, because that's how they were written, that's how they were recorded. I have that much respect for his drumming and that music.
I remember you said,
That-
"Hey, what are you doing at the end of Scary Man?" That
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
like-
dude, you showed
And I'm
me
like,
that.
just do whatever the hell you want to. Huh?
But you showed me. I had to run it up the flagpole, man, to get your approval on it, because I did do on Scary Man. I did a couple things different, but
No, I said, like, do whatever you want,
I
dude.
just didn't want to disrespect
Nah,
your drumming. You
that's-
know what I mean?
I'm the last guy that would be offended.
No,
by
but still, man, that's how
anything.
much I really enjoyed that CD.
Oh, I
You know what I
appreciate
mean? And everything that you've done. We've become pretty good friends over the years, and it's been a pleasure.
One of my favorite drummers to
just
watch,
having to know
too.
you.
I
Yeah.
mean, back in the day, he used to do all the cool tricks and stuff that I like to be.
still do.
I like to be entertained when I'm.
I'll always send Wayne something like I was telling this story earlier to Al and Jeff. There was this picture that Thomas Moore took of me twirling, and I posted it, and I'm trying to channel my inner Wayne Stoekly.
There's one, Thomas, I can't believe Thomas never got one, but Chris Sanders got one of me. And
I mean, that
the
stick is
stick
floating,
is
it's
coming
floating,
down,
it's
and it's
floating.
like right there from my hand. It
Oh,
looks like
nice.
it's levitating. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the best picture.
Zoltan.
That anyone, yeah, Zoltan can really do it. Yeah.
You're the closest to Zoltan that I've seen.
Oh, Zoltan's over the top.
Well, you and
man.
Paul Brown, if you guys were to put you guys together,
Dude,
you guys would be
but-
Zoltan.
but
two
Paul
favorites.
Brown, when he was a kid,
Yeah,
I stole stuff from.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. The backwards
Yeah.
flip and everything, yeah, he was incredible
Paul, you're a
back then.
badass, dude. Wayne is saying that.
When Paul was 15, Paul's a couple years younger than me, so
Right.
maybe when he was 16, I'm sitting there watching him like, okay, what's he doing? Okay.
Yeah, he opened up for Tyr once at the Rock when I was playing
Yeah.
with Tyr.
He was in Hit and Run.
Hit
Yeah,
and
Hit and
Run.
Run.
His,
Yeah,
dad, his
he was
dad's
just-
band. Yeah, they were great.
Man,
They opened
I
up with
remember.
Dog Eat Dog by Nugent. He's
Right.
like doing all that. I'm
Right.
like, who's this kid? He was incredible.
But anyway, no, we're good, man. And you got anything else for Wayne?
Top 5 Judas Priest albums. You heard it here, and then we're out.
Okay, number 1, Painkiller. Number 2, Point of Entry. Number 3, Jugulator. I see you.
I like the Ripper stuff.
Number
Keep going,
4, Number 4, Defenders of the Faith. Number 5, Screaming for Vengeance.
Wayne. Judas Priest?
Top
I think,
5.
Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders, Painkiller, British Steel. I like British Steel. So, is that
That
five?
was groundbreaking for sure.
Incorrect list.
Incorrect list.
Incorrect.
Well, that's my
You
list.
can't have Painkiller at 4.
Why not?
Painkiller don't even
Well,
make my top
the only
5.
reason,
It's too heavy for you.
the only reason
just
I say
didn't-
that, Wayne, is because, Screaming for Vengeance
didn't
is
like
what did
it.
it for me, man.
That's true.
You know? Pop the cherry.
At least you're not old man over here going, Last Rose of Summer was the last good song.
Hell Bent for Leather,
Good one.
Really? Half that record's garbage.
Stained Class,
Okay.
Screaming for Vengeance, British Steel, Sad Wings of Destiny.
British still overrated, just like Number of the Beast.
Actually, Sad Wings of Destiny goes into like number 3.
Number of the
I'll
Beast
take that.
overrated, Wayne?
Yeah. No, no.
Thank you for tuning in.
Catch
Catch you next time.
I'm
Peace.
What? Not yet.
Not yet?
No, I'm gonna say the last word here.
No.
Are you ready? For Jeff Dennis and Wayne Stoekly, I'm Chuck Encinas, and I want to leave you with these 4 letters, MUIA, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, this is Kenny Seisler with Sonic Temple and Holy Diver, and you're watching Godfather TV.
Hey, this is John Perez from Solitude Eternus, Headbanger. You're watching Godfather TV. Do not miss an episode if you want to get your brain full of metal information. Check it.
Thank you for watching Godfather TV.